My best friend got married this year and I was not invited. Someone who I knew since the age of 9, after 20 years, he's getting married and I'm not invited. And the funniest thing is the person he's getting married to, she's also very close to me and I'm not getting invited. How do you deal with such kind of betrayal and pain? How do you make sense of things which makes no sense? How do you overcome the grief someone has left you when you have done nothing wrong to them? And what reason do you have to actually let go? In this journey, I found that letting go is something that makes you unstoppable, and letting go is your superpower if you harness it and use it in your favor. Now, to give you a backtrack of who my best friend is, how did it happen? Me and my best friend, we have been together since the age of 9. Basically, he moved from his city when he lost his father, and right away we connected in the high school, and then throughout this journey we always stick together. Even when I moved to Canada, we always stayed in touch. And he had been dating someone for 6 years behind my back, because the person he's dating, she's very close to me, and they were dating behind the back and hiding from me because they were afraid that I would react and panic and I would create problems. So due to that fear, they did not share this thing with me. But in reality, when it came down to a point where, it was time for them to get married and it had to come out, only then they brought this out. Now, I would not have been against them dating and eventually getting married if that was going to happen. As a matter of fact, I had told him a couple of times, this person, I think you should marry her because she's a nice girl and you are my best friend, you like my brother. But for some reason, they kept it away from me. What hurts is not that they're getting married, I'm not invited. What hurts is that why they kept it away from me. It was a simple thing. They could have told me earlier and I would have made it happen. But that hiding is the betrayal, because my family got involved. My family helped him as well to move to Canada, and without sharing my contacts and sit in privacy. It would have been fine if it was only about me and him. When the family is getting involved, my mom is getting hurt, my dad's getting hurt, there's clash in the family. How do you make sense of it? Why would you not get hurt? Why would you not feel angry? But if you are someone who's in the path of spirituality or who's in the path of evolution, you would know that every single thing, if it's hurting you, it's only hurting you because you are giving power to the person or to that thing to hurt you. I truly believe that no one has the power to hurt you unless you give them the power. And in all honesty, I got hurt here in 2023 December. This is when it was leaked, and I only had one call with him ever, and he never tried to call me again. He never tried to make an attempt to sort of please me and make things up to me. He just never did that, and that actually hurt even more. Of course I was mad, of course I was angry, but not like I was creating some huge mess. I was angry to the point that, I was like, I'm betrayed and we shouldn't talk. But if he had come to me and sincerely offered an apology and not let his wife to just be at the forefront, I think things would have been finer. But he didn't do that, and that's okay. So how do you deal with this? How do you overcome this? Well, the first thing that came to my mind was, of course, anger. But I asked myself, why do I feel angry? Why do I feel in pain? Because of someone who I have identified as my best friend is taking a decision that's best for him, clearly, and he's not involving me in this. He has the right, in all honesty, he has the right to choose whatever he wants and exclude me. That's okay. He has that right. Why am I getting hurt? And what came out was something that was truly incredible. I'm getting hurt because of my emotional attachment to him. He's not the one to blame for my pain and for my grief, although he's the main object here. I'm simply getting hurt because I have been emotionally attached to him as a friend. And as my friend is doing something opposite to what I never even dreamed in my wildest dreams, I'm getting hurt. So who's the one who's responsible for this pain? Me. Who's the one who needs to change? Me. And I always believe that blame only makes you weak. Complaining, criticizing only makes you weak. And the people who take responsibility are the ones who actually end up living a great, successful life. So there are 3 lessons that came out of me as I went through this phase of processing my grief and, overcoming all these emotions, and also taking care of my family so they don't get affected by it, and making sure that things go cool. Number 1 is your karma will find the way to punish you, whether you're aware of it or not. I like to believe that I must have hurt him in some previous life. The fact that he moved from a very different city to our city and we instantly became best friends and have been together for 21 years. I like to believe that in previous lives, we must have been closer as well. But I must have hurt him, and in this life, I'm receiving the karma. Second thing is, nothing in life has a meaning except the meaning you give. This is the most important thing that you can ever learn in your life. Nothing in your life has a meaning except the meaning you give to it. I can blame him, criticize him, complain to him. I can do everything and be miserable. The more I spend time in complaining, criticizing, being miserable, the more through the law of attraction, I'll become miserable. Or I can give it an empowering meaning, take responsibility, and stop being a victim and actually become a fighter. So I gave it a very different meaning. I realized I can blame him and that would not help me and serve me. But what can I do and to change my focus and change my meaning? So I said, I must have hurt him in some previous life and I'm receiving the pain of my karma, which is true. Now, whether I hurt him in some previous life or not, I don't know. But I'm 100% receiving the result of my karma because that's the law of cause and effect, law of karma. Law of karma basically means for every action you have done or you're doing, you're bound to receive the reaction of that, whether in this life or the next life. So even in this life, I have hurt people myself, unconsciously or sometimes unconsciously. I've done things which I'm not proud of and I have not received karma for that. So, I cannot complain that he's doing this to me. And this is what that differentiates me with many people. Many people will go into the cycle of resentment, shame, anger, pain, regret. And then the more they would do it, the more they would get succumbed in that loop. And the next thing you know, you're anxious, you're stressed, you're depressed, you're procrastinating. But I'm always all about freedom. I've never wanted to sacrifice my contentment for anyone, even my parents, let alone a best friend. So I made a decision that, this is my karma and I must have done something to him. It's time to forgive him. And that's where the third lesson came in, which is you have come along, you will live alone. And in the between, this life is nothing but a drama. So you have come along without anything and you will live alone without anything. And in between this, it's all a play of life. It's all a drama of life. Learn to play it. The good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the failures and the losses, the successes and the disappointments. Everything is a part of this life. Relish it, accept it, enjoy it, but don't hold on to anything. Don't be attached to anything. And that's why spirituality is so important. Even the Buddha has said, in the end of life, only three things matter. How greatly you have lived, how kindly you have lived, and how gracefully you have been able to let go of things that were not meant for you. So my best friend actually became a pioneer of my spiritual growth. I realized no one in this world can truly be your best friend except the divine. Because that is one power that will never ever leave you. Your boyfriend will leave you, your husband will leave you, your mother or father will leave you. Everyone will leave you at some point. It is guaranteed, you know it. But the divine will never ever leave you. And if you're not attached to God or whatever form of God you worship, you will naturally be hurt by these temporary things of life if you do get attachment to them. So how do we live life then? By being in a flow, by being in a state of flow. That's what Bruce Lee also said. Be water, my friend. Don't hold on to things. Don't be attached to things. And don't also restrict things. Be in a state of equanimity. This is why spiritual practice is so important. Thank you so much for watching. I truly believe that letting go is probably my biggest superpower. I can let go of anything, even though it will hurt, even though there's a lot of pain and disappointment. I have that thing in me to let go of it. And that's truly divine guidance and divine blessing. So thank you so much for watching. I highly recommend you, whatever is hurting you, to ask yourself this question. Why is it hurting you? What is it about you that's making you to be hurt by this thing or this person? And there you'll find the answer to your liberation. And if you're willing to let go, then life will support you. And if you're willing to hold on, then life will give you more reasons to hold on. But remember, the more you hold on to someone or something, the more you become captivated by it. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to come and register for my webinar, come. I'm doing 2 webinars a week. Register for the webinar, and that's where I can help you to take this journey to the next step. The webinar is only 49 rupees, basically $1. So be a part of it, and let's create some magic happening. If you want to have one-on-one coaching with me, you can register through the link in the description. We can possibly discuss it. And trust me, nothing in life is worth holding on to, anything, except if it's God and the relationship with you. Thank you so much for watching. God bless. I'll see you soon.